Ladies and gentlemen, I came here tonight to tell you something that can change your life if you let it. See, life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you are willing to fight for, to work for, to sacrifice for. The most powerful lessons aren't written in books. They're carved into your soul by struggle, by setbacks, by moments where you could have given up. But you didn't. You see, greatness is not reserved for the chosen few. It's reserved for those who choose it. It's reserved for those who say, I will not die with my dream still inside me. One of the greatest lessons I ever learned is this: you don't have to be perfect to win. You just have to be persistent. Success is not about never falling. It's about getting up again and again and again. Some of you have been through storms that should have broken you. You've had people doubt you, reject you, even laugh at you. But you're still here. That means life has more for you. Don't let your past dictate your future. Don't let fear keep you from your destiny. Fear is a liar, and it only grows when you feed it. Step into your future with courage, because the world is waiting on your gift. Listen, your dream is possible. Your life can change. And when it does, you won't just inspire yourself. You'll inspire everyone who thought it was too late, too hard, or too impossible. So I challenge you, live with purpose, live with passion, live with fire. Because the most powerful lesson is this: if you keep going, if you keep believing, if you keep moving forward, your dream will not die. Life doesn't hand out victories just because we want them. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants freedom. Everybody wants to live their dream. But wanting is not enough. Wanting is only the spark. The fire is lit when you decide to fight for it. There are people who wake up every day with huge dreams in their hearts, but they stay stuck because they never cross that line between wishing and working. Life will test you. It will push you. It will demand proof. Proof that you are serious enough to earn what you say you want. See, if success came just from wanting, every person would be living in their dream home, driving their dream car, living their dream life. But life doesn't respond to want. Life responds to effort. It responds to discipline, sweat, tears, and the courage to keep showing up. The truth is, the world is filled with dreamers, but it only rewards doers. You can write down your vision, you can say your affirmations, but until you put some fight behind it, it stays just that, a vision on paper. The fight I'm talking about is not with fists, not with anger. It's the fight of determination. The fight of waking up earlier when your body says, stay in bed. The fight of staying focused when distractions scream louder than your goals. The fight of saying no to comfort, no to excuses, no to anything that pulls you away from your purpose. That's the kind of fight life respects. That's the kind of fight life responds to. Life has a way of separating the pretenders from the contenders. Pretenders say, I want it. Contenders say, I'll do whatever it takes to get it. Pretenders give up after the first setback. Contenders get stronger with every obstacle. Pretenders blame circumstances. Contenders create circumstances. And make no mistake, life is always watching, always measuring how badly you want it. The question is not, do you want it? The real question is, are you willing to fight for it? And when you fight, you discover something powerful. You discover that you are stronger than your excuses, greater than your setbacks, and bigger than your fears. The fight reveals your resilience, your creativity, your will to rise above what tried to hold you down. The fight shapes you, molds you, and prepares you for the very dream you've been asking for. Because life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are bold enough, hungry enough, and relentless enough to fight for. Too many people believe greatness is for the chosen few, reserved for those born with special gifts, wealthy families, or the right connections. But greatness doesn't work that way. Greatness is not locked behind gates. that only a select few can enter. It's not reserved for the privileged, the lucky, or the talented. Greatness is available to anyone who is willing to step up and claim it. And claiming it is not about one big decision. It's about the small choices you make every single day. Every day you wake up with two options: to live by default or to live by design. Living by default means drifting, letting circumstances dictate your path, letting comfort zones trap you where you are. Living by design means waking up with intention, choosing to stretch yourself, choosing to grow, choosing to do the things that pull you closer to your destiny. That's what separates those who live average from those who live extraordinary. Not some magical power, but the daily choice to step toward greatness. The truth is, greatness hides in the little things. It's in the decision to study when others are sleeping. It's in the choice to practice when no one is watching. It's in the discipline to keep promises to yourself even when nobody else would know if you quit. Greatness doesn't show up with fireworks. It shows up quietly in the consistency of your actions. The choices you make behind closed doors when no one is applauding you are the very choices that determine whether or not the world will one day celebrate you. Think about it. Every champion, every leader, every world changer had to wake up and choose. They had to choose discipline over distraction. They had to choose courage over comfort. They had to choose to keep moving even when the road was rough. And those choices, stacked one on top of another, created the momentum that carried them into greatness. If they had waited for permission, or a perfect moment, or a sign that they were worthy, they would still be waiting. Greatness doesn't wait for you. You have to choose it. When you realize greatness is a choice, you also realize it's a responsibility. That means no more hiding behind excuses, no more blaming circumstances, no more waiting for someone else to hand you an opportunity. The power is in your hands. The decision is in your hands. Every sunrise is an invitation. Will you step closer to your greatness today, or will you let it slip by again? Greatness is not reserved. It is chosen, it is earned, it is lived, one decision at a time. Perfection has paralyzed more dreams than failure ever has. So many people are waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect opportunity before they start. They tell themselves, when everything lines up, then I'll go for it. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect time, and perfection is an illusion that keeps you stuck. What really creates results is persistence, the ability to keep moving forward, even when things are messy, uncertain, and unfinished. Persistence is the difference between those who talk about dreams and those who live them. You don't need the perfect strategy. You need the persistence to keep trying until you find one that works. You don't need flawless execution. You need the persistence to keep showing up when most people quit. The people who succeed are not the ones who got it right the first time. They are the ones who refuse to stop until they got it right. Think about it. Every breakthrough, every invention, every success story was born out of persistence. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb because he was perfect. He did it because he was persistent. He failed thousands of times, but he kept going until he discovered what worked. The same principle applies to your dream. You may stumble, you may fall, you may make mistakes, but if you keep moving forward, your persistence will outshine your imperfections. Perfection is about image. Persistence is about progress. Perfection says, don't try until it's flawless. Persistence says, try, fail, learn, and try again. Perfection seeks approval. Persistence seeks growth. And here's the truth: the world doesn't reward the one who looks perfect. It rewards the one who delivers results. And results only come through the grind of persistence. Through the days you don't feel like it. The nights you want to quit. And the moments where you're tired but still keep going. Persistence builds strength that perfection never will. It toughens your spirit, sharpens your character, and teaches you that you can survive disappointment and still rise again. When you stay persistent, you begin to trust yourself in a deeper way. You prove to yourself that no matter what happens, you won't give up. That's when you become unstoppable. That's when life opens doors, not because you were perfect, but because you were persistent enough to walk through them. Falling is part of the journey. Every champion has fallen. Every leader has stumbled. Every success story is littered with moments of collapse, disappointment, and mistakes. Falling does not make you a failure. It makes you human. The real danger is not in falling. It's in staying down, in surrendering to defeat, in allowing the fall to convince you that you're not worthy of rising again. Failure is not defined by the fall. It's defined by what you do next. Some people fall once and never recover because they let shame and fear chain them to the ground. Others fall 100 times but keep standing back up. And those are the ones who eventually win. Falling teaches resilience. It toughens your spirit. It reveals what you're made of. Each time you rise after a fall, you come back stronger, wiser, and hungrier. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall more times than anyone can count. But do they quit? No. They wobble, stumble, cry, and then they try again, and eventually they walk. That same spirit lives in you. Somewhere along the way, adults forget that falling is part of the process. We begin to treat every mistake like a final judgment instead of a stepping stone. But the truth is, if you're falling, it means you're moving. It means you're trying. It means you're alive. Quitting, on the other hand, is the silent killer of dreams. Quitting whispers, "It's too hard," and convinces you to stop before the miracle happens. Quitting buries potential before it has a chance to bloom. You can recover from a fall, but you cannot recover from giving up. Because once you quit, the story ends right there. Falling keeps the story alive, because as long as you're still in the fight, the ending can still change. When you fall, you gather experience. You gain perspective. You discover what doesn't work so you can find what does. You develop scars, and those scars become your strength. Every time you rise again, you send a message to life itself. You cannot break me. And that mindset, that unshakable refusal to quit, is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Falling is not failure. Quitting is. Too many people are prisoners of their past. They replay old mistakes, relive old pain, and rehearse the moments that broke them. They wear their history like a label that can't be removed, as if yesterday has the final say over tomorrow. But hear this: your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. What happened to you may shape you, but it does not have the power to define where you're going unless you hand it that power. The truth is, every person has a story filled with regrets, missed opportunities, and scars. You are not alone in that. But those scars are proof that you survived. They are not shackles to hold you down. They are reminders of your strength. Your past was preparation. It was equipping you with wisdom, resilience, and perspective for the journey ahead. The setbacks of yesterday can be transformed into the stepping stones of tomorrow, if you refuse to let them hold you back. Your destiny is not tied to what you lost, who walked away, or the mistakes you made. Destiny is tied to the choices you make right now. Some people spend years blaming their history for why they can't move forward. They say, "If only I had a better start. If only I hadn't made that mistake. If only I hadn't gone through that pain." But the truth is, your history can't hold you unless you chain yourself to it. The power to rewrite your story begins the moment you decide that your past will no longer be your prison. Think about it. Some of the greatest leaders, inventors, and visionaries came from broken beginnings. Some were raised in poverty. Some failed countless times. Some were told they would never amount to anything. But they made a decision. They refuse to let their past dictate their future. They turn their wounds into wisdom, their pain into passion, and their setbacks into comebacks. That same power lives in you. When you understand that your past is not your destiny, you free yourself. You free yourself from guilt, from shame, from the weight of old mistakes. You begin to realize that where you started is not where you have to finish. You have the authority to break cycles, to shift direction, to create a new legacy. The past is a chapter. It is not the whole book. And if you're still breathing, that means your story is still being written.